And hello. Welcome to the Phoenix Premier League. My name is Jason Ives. I am joined by Boy Wonder himself, the man.
Guys, I've missed you.
The myth, the legend, Junior is back on the mic.
What's going on, guys? How we doing? It's Keegan Ives in the house here.
Keegan, thanks for taking time for being here today. I know you are a very busy man.
Yeah, I got a wedding I'm planning. I'm doing some stuff here and there.
Yeah.
You know what? We're making it do.
Mr. Banker. Folks,
yeah.
please give us a like, give us a share. Let's get these players the viewers that they deserve. We got a doozy for you tonight, don't we?
Yes, we do. And stars are back, guys. You could finally send your support in the chat if you're on Facebook right now watching. But if you're on YouTube, we still love you the same if you're watching. Be sure to, of course, subscribe and like and to do all those wonderful things. But, yeah, by all means, take us away.
I don't know what happened. It could have something to do with the Trump administration being back in office, but stars are back on the stream.
Yeah, you know what? And
regulations are gone, baby.
If that's the case, man, thank you, President Trump. I appreciate you.
Whatever it takes.
Yes, now we just got to send that federal Dogecoin check, and then I'll be really happy.
Yeah, that's right. Make sure you get the Trump Bible.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk about tonight's matchup.
I'm super ecstatic.
Mr. Ryan Watson versus Mr. Joe Hewitt.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
It is a little bit of a privilege to be able to bring these two guys for you. It
Honestly,
really is. Right? You got Ryan, who's driving down from Lafayette, although I believe his beautiful wife, Georgette, probably is the one that drove him down or will be the one driving him back.
Sure, to say the least.
Yeah, it is. But Ryan's driving down from Lafayette. We haven't had Ryan at the castle in over a year. So it's exciting to have Ryan. We love having Ryan at the castle. The kid's been playing darts for 20 years. He's playing some of the best darts he's ever shot right now. He's playing some great darts. He had a bad wrist injury at the late last year, and it kind of it hindered his throw.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah, because it's whether it hurts or not when you throw, that's all you seem to think about is that your wrist hurts. Right?
Absolutely, and sometimes it can even cause dartitis too.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're fortunate enough that Mr. Rhino was definitely not an affiliate that was affected by that, to say the least.
Right? And you're not going to drink that on camera, are you?
No, not at all.
Go ahead and put it right back down.
Well, I was okay. I didn't know it was visible on camera, but that's fine.
Dad being dad, what can I tell you?
Whatever.
Now he's playing a Mr. Joe Hewitt. Here's the special thing about Joe. He's taking a year off darts. He's just getting back to it.
He's grooving.
Now, if you don't know Joe, it's somewhat surprising because he also has a beautiful wife. But Joe, when he quit, he's at my level now, which is a most frustrating level. You're either a really bad master or a really good A player, right? And you kind of waffle between those two things, and unless you put an inordinate amount of work in to get to that master level, it just becomes frustrating.
Yeah, it's all about teetering form, right?
Yeah, because you can play one tournament in literally this last state tournament, I played Masters. The state tournament before or last year, I played level 1, right? And so level 1, we make it quite a bit, and Masters we're 2 and out, right? Yeah. So and Joe's that kind of a player. He was anyways when he quit. Okay. He took time off, and I, for one, think the time off in the long run is really going to help his game.
Yeah, truly. I mean, you come back into form, and it's all about rediscovering that love again in some aspect. And it really drives you. It pushes you to want to perform that well. And, I think Joe, to say the least, he may have already came into stride thinking, hey, I'm getting back to this groove of things, and I want to pick up exactly where I left off, but he wants to go one step further. He's got motivation under his belt. Sometimes that's what you need as a dart player.
Well, both these characters have been here for about 30 minutes. And so I sat out in the garage and watched them warm up.
Okay.
Ryan wasn't missing. Joe would have moments of brilliance followed by a 26.
Sure.
Right? So, and I think that's what we might see a little bit of tonight.
Okay.
Some of these guys just really getting on it and hitting it hard.
Yeah.
And then, maybe a 26.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But it's fair. It's reasons why these guys are in the Challenger League. Challenger League, you say? What is this that you speak of? Well, let's go to the tables and take a look. All right. So this system is made up of 3 different levels.
Okay.
You have the Premier League at the top. Those are the 10 best players in the state. or 10. Let's put it fairly: the 10 best players that have a Phoenix board close to them that they can play.
Yeah.
So that is Division One, the Premier League.
Okay.
All right. Right now, Trev, who was Premier League champion from last season, he's leading the way.
Is he still our sponsored player? Or is he?
He's still our sponsor. He kidding?
Okay.
He keeps as long as he keeps winning.
Hey, look, I'm all about it. I'm just making sure.
He could be the reason why we still have stars.
We didn't make like an affiliate announcement. That's what I was figuring.
no, he's definitely in it. Garrett, who's a rising star, like a lot of people in Lafayette, it's a huge dart community that is just getting stronger and stronger. And it seems like every 3-4 months there's another star player. Garrett he's picked up sponsorships. He's doing a lot of traveling. He's playing darts 3-4 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
He has a wonderful, supportive wife that's there with him the whole time.
Yeah, I've been seeing his name pop up a lot on my feed, so he's clearly doing some work in the darty community.
I've been aware of Garrett for a long time, and just to see, he just keeps getting better. I don't know what that beeping was. Do you have any idea what that beeping was?
It's because of all this talent that's throwing fire in the garage tonight, Jason. That's why.
All right. Well, if the house burns down, unless we'll have an internet connection.
Yeah.
But in that Division 1 there, the bottom 3, which right now is including some past champions named Adam Kleinfelder.
Yeah.
Lee Jones, who wasn't a past champion, but he shouldn't be in that bottom 3.
Yeah.
That's for certain. That bottom 3 will move down to the Challenger League, which is where I'm located, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Although I played 2 weeks, and all the people below me have only played 1 week, but
you're doing great.
yeah, I'm doing the best I can. I just had a heart attack, so I'm gonna use that.
Hey,
as
look,
an
it was
excuse.
your first league back. So.
I played Johnny Laney last night, another Lafayette Audubon guy, right? He killed me 12-3. He is throwing fire.
Man.
Yeah. Every time I opened up on 20s, he 9 marked the 19s.
Yeah.
Did it 3 times in a row.
I mean, you gotta put those numbers in, man.
Yeah, it's difficult to give him coaching advice when he's beating you 12-3.
Yeah.
But big shout out to Johnny. In that bottom division, Division 2 there, what you'll see is the top 3, currently Johnny, Nate, and Steve.
Yeah.
We'll see where it stands at the end of the season.
Of course.
But currently, those top 3 would move up to the Premier League, replacing the 3 that dropped down to the Premier League in the Challenger League.
Which at this moment would be Adam, Lee, and Tommy.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It's probably not going to end that way, but we'll never know.
Yeah,
We'll see
exactly.
what happens.
We'll have to see, right?
The bottom 3 from the Challenger League in the bottom there, Corbin and the 2 guys we got playing tonight, Ryan and Joe.
Okay.
Now, let's be clear. The only reason they're at the bottom right now, quite frankly, is because they've only played 1 week, because they hold out so they can play with us here tonight. They'll move down to Contender Leagues. The Contender Leagues are a little bit shorter format. There's only 6 players in there. You do play everybody twice.
Okay.
But only the champion from the Contender League moves up to the Challenger League. And you just make your way up the ladder like that.
Yeah.
So that's not bad at all. And tonight, we've got the bottom 2. Like I said, they've only played 1 week. But we got the bottom 2 from the Challenger League. Rhino versus Average Joe.
Hey, Joe Schmo.
You don't see Average Joe wear no dart shirt.
Yeah,
Average Joe wears a plain shirt. It could be black, could be white. If he's feeling a little fruity, he'll go with a color like a red.
Because he's not a sponsored player.
Possibly an orange. Yeah. But that's what you're going to see from Joe, and that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right?
Absolutely.
So, folks, please give us a like, give us a share. We're about to go right over to the match. Let's get your prediction, though. All right? You watched them warm up. All right? You might have seen some great darts out of Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by some not so great darts. You saw just really good darts from Ryan consistently over and over again.
To say the least.
We're going to play 15 games tonight. Who you got?
Man. You know what? I'm rooting for Joe Schmo. I really am.
You're rooting for the Average Joe.
Yeah, the Average Joe Schmo. We'll say he takes it. Quite frankly, because these guys have been striving to kind of have a better performance, I think, tonight. Both of them, I think they're going to bring the heat out of each other. I'll say 8-7.
8-7?
8-7 Joe.
And not because his wife is sitting within 8 feet of me, I am going to take Mr. Ryan Watson.
That's a smart bet. I understand.
I've been watching Rhino. He's a good friend. So, quite frankly, I've been watching and following his stats over the last couple of years. And I know he's been playing for 20 years, and I know if you ask him, he'll tell you, I've been doing this forever, don't you? Nobody's noticed. Well, you are a much better darter right now, Ryan, than you were 2 years ago. So I'm going to go with Ryan, and I think it's going to be 9-6.
Okay.
I think it's going to be 9-6. And but it all comes down to form, and form is a funny thing.
It is.
Do you know when you're warming up that you're going to throw good darts that night? Are you that kind of player?
No. I feel it's just all in the spur of the moment, kind of deal to me. It's all about that confidence in terms of, at least for me, it's not about like how well I'm throwing. It's about how well my doubles are hitting.
Okay.
Typically, at least in terms of steel, because I've been playing a lot of steel as of late.
Sure.
But or in the case of soft, obviously how many bulls you're hitting per round. That's when you kind of get like a real feel.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, it's about match day pressure too, which it doesn't matter what age you're at. You could be 20, you could be 50. You still have pressure sometimes.
And you're still picking Joe Hewitt.
I'm still picking Joe Hewitt.
Who win 8-7.
Absolutely. This man's got nothing to prove other than the fact that he's coming back.
He's got maturity on Ryan.
He does have maturity.
He's a little bit older than Ryan, so he's got that. I don't know that he's really got that experience, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But he does have the maturity level. So let's see what's going on. All right, folks, we're going to switch over to the main board so we can watch these guys warm up. Miss Georgette, there's a little switch right behind your shoulder there. Flip that switch for me. There you go. And it had just gone green. We've sent the message over to the arena.
All right, let's get this
Which
party
means
going.
those guys are about ready to go. They should see the green light on. And there we go. We have it.
All right, perfect stuff. A good handshake, nice tap on the shoulder there, and let's get this party rolling. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone else, don't be afraid. Leave us your predictions in the chat below. If you're watching here on YouTube, feel free to, of course, like and subscribe. And if you're on the old YouTubes, feel free to like and follow our page, as well as if you feel so kind, send some stars our way.
Look at this from Rhino. He got in on the first start, opens up the nice 83 solid score right there. Let's see how Joe does in his first start back on the stream. Could be a little nerve-wracking for him.
Yep.
Ooh, you got to get in there, Joe. There you go. A little bit more.
And,
a little short. And, let's not be surprised about that.
Yeah.
Wait till that young man gets going.
You got to loosen the gears a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
right? It's been a minute. Took a year off, like we said. Did some family time. And look at this from Rhino. And this is what we saw in warm-ups, too. That's a big ton 40 from Rhino.
Now, give us a refresher on the format, because I know you were on commentary last week. For those of which who haven't watched, or maybe this is their first time they're watching the Phoenix Premier League. How does this format work, Jason?
All right. Well, what we're going to play is going to play double in, double out, and the bull is a split bull. As you can see, that's why they're throwing at the 20s, and we're going to do that 10 times, and then we're going to play cricket for 5 times. All right. Okay. So we're going to play 201s, and then we're going to play a game of cricket. So we'll go back and forth a little bit here. Glad to see that Joe's in. Rhino's going to be a little upset with himself not hitting that trip. There it is on that third dart.
Big third right there.
And what you're seeing from Rhino is those darts are tightly grouped, right, which is a fantastic sign. It means you're throwing with a certain amount of consistency going on. Joe switching down to the bottom side of the board.
Yeah, being able to follow your first dart as it gets into the board is definitely a good indication that you know how to take advantage of your full-on marker dart that you lay in the board for sure.
And, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but there's a very good chance that Ryan's going to win this particular leg, but it's still a very important leg for Joe. Can he hit those trips? Is he going to hit that? Is he going to hit the mark that he's shooting at?
Yeah.
Is going to be crucial for him at this point in time. Rhino with a nice switch down there to the 19s, kind of blocked himself out on the 20 on that second dart. Let's see what Joe does here. He's going back up top.
And there's a big triple there from Joe. It finds a second one, too.
And that's huge for Joe. He may not, like I said, may not win this leg, but the fact that he's found a triple these last 2 visits is going to be important to him.
Absolutely.
All right, Rhino looking at the out. Leaves himself with a double 10. Not a bad little setup.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, just looking to put a little bit of pressure on this double 10. You'll be surprised on what can happen. Needs to get a ton plus here. Needs to hit the trip.
Just not drags him to the 1, so he's not on the finish. So it's going to give Ryan time here. And let's see if he hits it first start. This will be a good indicator that Rhino has clearly done his prep and warmed up.
That's just on the outside. And so was that. Same place.
Yeah, dang near the same spot. And drags it in on the inside there.
And this is why that last visit from Joe was really kind of painful, because he's nowhere near an out right now. He needs to hit the trip a couple times here. That's the first one.
That's a big first start there from Joe.
He's going to be on an out. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to put a little pressure on this. Let's see if Rhino can hit that double 5.
It's going to force Ryan to attack that double 5.
Now, you got to be careful here, because if you go low, then it's a too dark combination to get yourself out of that trouble. Let's see what he does.
And he gets it first start. That's
first start.
It's a good first start there from Mr. Rhino.
And we'll fix the scoreboard and see if we can't get it right this week. We messed it up last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we played the best of 14.
Oh, lovely.
So, it happens. Folks, if you're watching along with us in the chat, please give us a like, give us a share. Let's get this out there.
Joe getting in on his first start there on the double after attacking it. That's a good indicator that Joe is.
Did he go back up top, double 20?
He went double 20 first start.
That's a good sign.
He switched on the 3rd, but dragged into the 7. Let's see if Rhino can get in on a double here. And he's fluffing around his line here on dart.
Rhino, he's frustrated. Now, Rhino's one of those guys that likes to wear a headset, so he likes to have music playing in his ears at all times. Yeah. Any thoughts on that at all, Keegan?
Oh, man. For me, at least, I can't see myself playing actual matches with an earpiece in my ear.
Okay.
If I'm warming up or something like that, maybe in my own little zone. If music isn't playing in the background, I may put a headset in or something. But I'm more of a guy who likes to hear the atmosphere, hear my players next to me swearing because they're doing so bad.
Yeah, I like to play without headphones. I do like my partner not to have headphones in, because for me at this point in my dark career, it's more of a social event than it is actually competition.
Yeah.
Great darts there from Joe. Solid 125. Leading the way this round here, but Rhino's he's not sleeping on him. Bless you, young lady. Rhino brought his own fan. We've never had anybody bring a fan to the castle before.
I mean, I've brought a guest that's a fan of me, but not like,
There is one? Oh, yeah, your wife or your future wife.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you sometimes. But you're on commentary. So I guess you can't have too much bias. So understandable. Joe dragging it in on the couple of darts in that one segment. I don't know about you, but I always get very, very flustered whenever I drag a dart or two into that one segment for sure.
And we might see a lot of that tonight. He's going to float quite a few over to the 1, and we've already seen that, but we've seen moments of brilliance. We saw a ton 40 the last leg, followed by a 38. Right? So that's kind of what we're going to see a little bit. Rhino caught right back up to him now, only a 4-point difference. Joe going to be feeling that pressure. Rhino's footsteps right behind him.
And that first dart in the 3 is not going to be a good sign, and he's starting to get irritated now.
Well, you see this when you're frustrated, right? You're not hitting the trip 20 as much as you'd like to, so you switch out of it. You don't hit the trip 19 because you haven't really thought about hitting the trip 19 all night long. So, yeah, it can be tough.
Absolutely.
Let's give a shout-out to Miss Jamie Payne watching along with us, shouting, "Let's go, Rhino." Mr. Aaron King joining us in chat. Rhino has that fan every league night. Yeah, well, it's every league night again here at the castle. If he just said something, I would have turned on the AC or something.
Man.
I hate it when people feel like they got to bring stuff here and make them comfy. It's my job. All right, Joe did visit the trip 20 that time. A solid 76 score. He puts himself on a 161 out. Let's see if Ryan can put some pressure on that out. Yeah, Rhino disappointed with himself. A trip 4 and a trip 3. If you're going to hit a 4 and a 3, your trips are one to hit, though.
Yeah.
Still looking at it out if he's good dart right here, and that is not a good dart, and that is also not an out. Only 24 points scored for Rhino on that visit.
Yeah, so this is going to give Joe at least 6 to take out leg number 2 here.
Let's give a shout out to Miss Lori Westling watching along, shouting, "Let's go, Ryan." I'm with you.
Let's go, Ryan.
Cheryl King shouting out, "Let's go, Rhino." You spelled Rhino wrong. I did that on the flyer, and I got chastised for it, so make sure you put an H in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter where it goes. You can just put it anywhere, Cheryl. Joe hitting a solid ton. Rhino just trying to put some pressure on it. That's going to help a lot. He's going to be sitting on an out regardless at this point in time. 98, not a terrible out. Couple of combinations to go there. Joe sitting on a 61. What's he going to look at?
You would think bull. Well, he went the trip 15 route. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. Trip 15 for a double 8, but he missed it, so it don't really count. Double 16.
Come on.
Just on the inside.
Interesting, he went double 16 there when he opened on tops initially. It just shows the comfortability of players and switching around.
Comfortability.
Yeah.
That's a new word.
I don't hate it.
Comfortability.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It may not be a real word to you, but it is to me, dang it.
Ryan, looking at the 98 here. The soft tip is out as a trip 20 double 19. The gamble is out as a trip 16. Oh,
and he nails it.
Look
First
at
dart.
this.
2 darts at double 19. Goes inside. And
unfortunately, that's what can happen when you leave yourself on an odd double. All right, we're tied at 16.
Almost drags it into the double 3 there.
Yeah, I don't know why we wasted our time with those first 485 points.
Yeah, let's play game of 16, guys.
There it is. Joe Hewitt with a double 8.
They're both neck and neck averages, like 2. Both averaging about a 20 that round.
All right, so we are tied 1-1. Let's go to our first cricket match.
Right. Hey, you know what time it is, Jason? It's cricket time. Let's get this party rolling.
I love it when you call me Jason.
Yeah, I love it too. I gotta let these people know you're not my dad.
It's a little weird, to be honest with you. You're grounded.
Yeah.
All right, that's a solid 43 there from Rhino. Average Joe stepping up, wearing all black tonight. Going right after those 20s. Ooh, all right. Does manage to close them.
Solid 3 mark.
Let's see if Rhino wastes a dart at the 20s, just closing them. And if you do waste that 1 dart, you want it to only be 1.
What would you do in this spot?
I would waste a dart and close the 20s. But knowing me, I would throw a 5.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, and he's going to switch to the 18s. I like starting on the 18s just because it's a little bit of an easier transition.
I don't hate and that can happen. Yeah. I don't hate it because the switch from a 19 to a 20 is such a drastic switch.
Yeah.
Where a switch from an 18 to a 20 is a little bit easier switch, although Ryan kind of made a meatball out of that one. Joe closing on 19.
Punish him.
Is he going to go back to points? He did go back to points, but didn't hit it. A little bit of a strange follow-through on that one. It's like he was pointing and shooting at the 17s, but on his release tried to guide it over to the 19s, and it never got all the way there. Rhino adjusting his fan. Rhino looks good in pink, doesn't he?
You know,
I think if you're a big, rough, mean, gruff and grumble kind of guy like Rhino, you got to wear pink just to soften you up a little bit.
Yeah, he gives that biker/trucker demeanor.
Yeah,
and I think a little bit of pink will do him well.
Look at that little 7 mark. 90 points put on the board for Rhino right there.
Yeah, very, very good, solid 7 mark there. But Joe's going to capitalize on closing that 19s. And the 20s too as well.
He's an older guy.
Oh, bad deflection there on the 3rd, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that can happen. Got comfy with that first start hitting that trip, and they kind of floated left and right with those. All right, Rhino's still in it right here, but if he doesn't close the 20s here, he could be in some trouble. Let's see if he does that.
He's got to take a dart at it at some point.
Yep.
He's going to
now
with that
There
triple.
it does. Now to the 19s. Yes.
Oh, wow. What a turn from Rhino, man.
Ryan Watson, ladies and gentlemen, out of Lafayette, Indiana, just hit a solid round. Gaining that point lead.
Yeah, but Joe is not backing down. He's fighting right back, and there's 6 of the 17. Oh, just outside there on the 3rd. But he's not backing down. I think he's definitely up to the challenge, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Rhino's got an answer for him right here. He's already got the point lead, but he really is going to need to close those 17s at some point in time. He went back up for points on the first dart. Looks like he's still looking up. Hit that trip 18. Now he's going down. Just floated above the trip 17 mark.
And they're playing good strategy here. You know, try to get yourself up at least by a triple, and then go down and try to go for the attack.
There you go.
Joe, I think, is forced to stay here on all three. Definitely is now.
Well, you can't win if you have less points, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't want to get down to 15s and bulls, so it ain't no time like the present to get that point. And that's why it's so crucial right here for Rhino to go ahead and close those 17s. He's looking down. No, he was going back up to 18s.
He's establishing that
He closed to 17s.
That triple gap. And oh my goodness, what a great switch to the 15.
Yeah, it's a beautiful switch to the 15. Mr. Laney was doing that to me all night long last night.
Let's see if Joe can capitalize on them 16s.
16 can be a tough one to hit if you've taken some time off of darts. Personally, I think the 15s, 16s, and 18s are the hardest darts to hit if you're coming back from a long layoff of darts.
Yeah.
Because it's a combination of both height and left and right. Where with the 19s, 17s, 20s, it's really more of an up and down throw. Even bulls are a relatively simple throw when you're coming back from some time off.
Yeah.
But those 16s, 15s, those angles, those 18s, they can be tricky. Good darts there from Rhino. Closing them out, putting some points on the board as well. This one's going Rhino's way, it looks like.
And that was a good second mark there from Joe. Only getting 2 mark on the bullseyes there.
Cameraman a little late on the bullseye.
That's all good. You got time. Ryan's not messing around here. He's going to go get that. Go attack those bulls. Try to get the win now.
Ooh, just on the outside there.
Yeah. Interesting decor you kind of see sometimes in terms of customization with soft tip darts. You see some players, they tend to take different colored points, and we see that with Rhino's darts, whereas Joe, he's rocking all 3 of the same color.
And Joe coming out of nowhere here. Put 75 points on the board. Rhino needs 2 bulls to close it out.
2 bulls and some points.
And some points. He's going to the points first. Uh-oh. Still has winning darts in his hand, but let's see what he does. He's probably going to stay at points if he hits it. He did hit it. Does he fly
Double
over?
bull.
Yeah, he stayed right there.
Stayed right there.
Can't be surprised with that, although here's the thing. Technically, he's only 49 points behind right here.
Yep.
So a double bull from Joe here is going to put him a point lead.
And
There's 1.
He's going to have to stay.
There's 2. What's he going to do now? He's got to think. Yeah, he's got to think about it. Does he close the 16s? Does he take a shot at the 18s?
I think if you have to switch out of the bulls, you're definitely hitting the 16 there. But he optimally stays on the bullseye. He already had 2 great marker darts and capitalizes with a hat trick.
So Joe coming out of nowhere. There was a time and place in this match when Rhino was shooting a 4-5.
But Ryan shutting that down right away, getting a 6 mark on the 18s. Let's see if he just one holes it out.
That's Ryan Watson coming on hot.
Let's see how Joe can handle the response. Needs at least 4 to get the point lead back. There's 2 right there. Can he follow it?
Ooh,
just outside.
3, so he doesn't quite get the point lead. Now all the pressure's on Rhino right here.
Yep, 3 darts, needs 1 bullseye.
Well, and the question is, can you hit 1 bull with 3 darts? Surely you can at this level. Come on, Rhino. Oh, he's going points.
He's going 18s. I would stay there still because he's probably taking darts 2 and 3 at it. And he gets it on dart number 3.
I'm going to make fun of him about that first 18 at some point in time. I believe in him more than he does, though. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. That's been 3 holes of throw so far.
Yeah.
No breaks either, so
2-1. It's not much better to do on a Friday night other than go play darts for yourself, but most of those don't start till 8:30. So thanks for hanging with us, folks.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being here. And we see Joe struggling, trying to get in again.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you were referring to earlier in the intro. He's got a little bit of a stop-start action at the moment right now in his darts game, and that just comes with the fact of him not putting enough practice in that he needs to be putting it in.
Well, he's got the height, right? Well, he's straight, right? He's throwing him. He's hitting the single 20 as Ryan gets in, but he doesn't have the height down. I wish he would kind of shoot for the 14 through 8 or the 13 through the 10, because that way it's not such a height thing. You're just worried about throwing straight like that.
There it is.
He's
on
in.
dart number 5.
Well, and he did get in on that double 16 a couple of legs back. Remember?
I think he took it out. I can't remember. Did he take it out? I want to say he did. So yeah, and maybe that's what Joe needs to find in his game. He needs to start working at the bottom doubles first, just to optimize getting those in before you head back up to the 20s, maybe. At least in terms of the double. But
all right, not a bad visit there from Rhino. 98 points scored. Managed to pick up a trip 20.
Yep.
But he's comfy on that trip 18. You can see he's been going back to it. That's his scoring dart. Look at this from Joe. He's going to stay right there. And I think Joe is going to get better as the night goes on. He's just going to get more and more comfy.
Yeah.
And that could put some pressure on Ryan here. But if Ryan wins a couple of these next legs, he's going to get comfy. And that's when Ryan throws his best, is when he's comfortable.
And I like this from Ryan. He was definitely taking his time there, taking a big deep breath. He realizes the pressure, has a realistic chance of breaking his opponent in the 4th leg of this brutal contest. Only time will tell, though, to see if he can actually capitalize.
Well, it's documented, right? I love Mr. Ryan Watson to death. I really do. But Ryan's biggest weakness is when he starts throwing bad darts, he gets inside his own head. We got a few of those players like that just here in Indy.
And I love this strategy here from Joe. Switching down to the 19, just capitalizing, and that's 19s I feel like are highly underrated in the game of darts as a whole. Just starting there, or at least getting a decent scoring presence on the 19s for sure.
Hitting a trip 7 is much better than hitting a trip 1.
Absolutely, or trip 5.
Yeah,
that's 21 points.
Rhino on request hitting that trip 1.
Yeah.
Now this is where Rhino, if I was to, and I'm not good enough to, but if I was to ever coach Rhino, this is what I would work with him on. Is his throw, his strategy is great. Okay. But sometimes in his own mind, when things start going wrong, he needs to find that level ground again. He managed to do that last time with pulling out a big 3rd dart right there.
Yeah. Now Joe's kind of rustled back the darts here on his own throw, but unfortunately only finds a 45 scoring visit. So now Ryan's going to come step back up here, and really if he just finds one triple, he's going to probably wrestle away the darts here from Joe. Let's see if he can do that, and he finds it on the first dart. And there's dart number 2. Can we see a 171? We surely do.
There is a club somewhere in the Lafayette area that practices hitting 19s and nothing but 19s all night long, because Lady was doing that to me all night last night.
Yeah. Our first round of 9 there coming from Ryan.
In an 0-1 game,
Watson.
no less.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joe with a solid 83. Puts himself on an out.
Yep, it's big. He gets to an out. It's going to force Ryan to probably attack the 19 here, I would assume. He just hit 3 of them.
Is he going to go trip 19, or is he going to do the soft tip trip 17 double 15 because it ends in a 1?
I definitely would be going on that 19 if I was Ryan. He just had a 171 visit. Let's see if he does and feels the dart.
The 19 is the right dart. That's a great dart. Double 12.
2 darts at it. Oh, and he flicks it into the 9.
And we've seen that a couple of 0-1 legs now when that second dart kind of boogers his third dart. That's all right. Joe's sitting on 156. This dart's crucial for you. Probably looking at a 7 here.
7 or 3 would probably be the dart. Definitely the 7 because of the way that 19, I think, is in that corner.
And I don't think he's going to have any problem. He'll probably throw over that 19, so it'll drop it into the 7.
Oh, he goes
3. Okay.
I actually really hate that dart because the last couple of visits that Ryan's been up there for, when he's needed to hit a fat 3 to leave whether it's 16 or in this case 12.
Yep.
He's dragging it really close to that double, but somehow just getting a little lucky, finding his way to not hit that crucial double 3.
Okay.
And an unfortunate 3rd dart there from Joe, putting himself on 73 here.
Well, what's even worse about it is we don't have a doubles cam on the 6.
But we do on the 10s. Go to the 10s, maybe.
We don't have a 10. We got 15 minutes. All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
See, clear enough from here. Even my old eyes can see that. Nice start there from Ryan.
And that's our first break of throw.
Yep, and that puts Ryan up 3-1. Of course, I did pick him to win 9-6, so I don't know why you'd want to watch the rest of the match. That's what's going to happen. All right, Rhino's going to get us started here. He's looking at the doubles. Double 14, same in as me.
Yeah. Mensur Sulovic would be very proud of that double 14.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. If you look at Ryan's backhand, he does stick it out. It's kind of a counterbalance for when he throws.
Yeah.
We all do that to a certain point, but you'll see Ryan kind of sticks his out a little bit farther.
Yeah, both of them kind of bringing that dart back to their eye, or close to their eye level.
Joe's still struggling to get in.
Yeah, and this is when you got to start thinking as Joe, maybe double 20 is not the go-to move for tonight.
Well, we'll see what happens. Here's Rhino. He's in already. Looking at that trip 19 again. I like it.
Yeah, he's
Stay
just
down
free
there,
rolling,
son.
and here comes another 1-7. Ooh, close but no cigar. Still take a ton 23 though.
I'll take that every day
solid.
of the week. That's a solid average. All right, Joe shooting up top. Looking at the 20s. There it is.
There it is on dart number 4.
I think that's 2 legs in a row. He's getting in on dart number 4.
And
that's okay. 63 in. You're rolling. You're a big score away with the combined with the low score from Ryan, and you're right back in it. Let's see what Ryan's going to do right here. Is he going to go stay the 19s? He looks like it. He does.
I definitely don't hate this.
Ooh.
Interesting switch there.
Trip 19s. Something in the water up in Lafayette area, I bet. It makes you just hit a trip 19. You're like you're born with it. There's 2-year-olds walking around throwing darts behind their back, hitting a trip 19.
Maybe that's a part of their boot camp. You know, they're infamous in that club.
You want to call yourself a Lafayette daughter, you got to be able to hit a trip 19. You play in Tippecanoe County. That's what we do here, son. All right. Ryan back up. Still looking at 228. He's going to position himself for an out. Let's see what he does.
And that's a good first start there to get there. On 163, just needs to find a dart getting into the board, and he does so with a nice solid 85 visit there.
Hey, I haven't been paying attention because I'm just not very good at this job.
My chat has not been working for me well tonight.
Mine's working great. I'm just ignoring it. Curtis Fosbrink sending us 200 stars. Thank you, Curtis.
Shout out to Curtis. Thank you so much, sir.
Johnny Lang's just being hurt in the chat because I'm making fun of him because he did that to me for an hour straight last night. All right, Rhino looking at a 143 here. Liz Murphy, I taught you how to hit them 20s. Let's go, Dad. I can't say that middle word. 3 there. Rhino looking at ton 40. Could set himself up pretty. He's got plenty of time. Joe sitting back on 355.
Flights into the trip 5 there on that third dart, but he definitely has time.
Yeah.
Even a max here from Joe. He can't put him on and out, so it's good to have at least 3 more darts to get that 105 taken down.
Shout out to Mr. Tim Neal sending in 500 stars. Thank you, Tim. Christy Gibson saying, let's go, Rhino. Brad Kennedy, shoot well, guys.
My beautiful fiance saying, hey, guys, doing a great job. Thank you, honey.
Hello, Miss Emily. Tim sending in another 200 stars.
Yes, Curtis, it's weird hearing me on a mic, too. I completely understand.
Miss Emily Disney, how are you, young lady? My future daughter-in-law.
That's a great dart there from Ryan.
That's a beautiful first dart, isn't it? And
just
Joe,
has to float that far away from the triple. Probably wants to try to get it right underneath that double marker, ideally.
There you go.
That's a decent, solid dart there. Let's see if he can.
Of
course he finds
out.
it.
That's a solid out right there. That first dart was key. But a nice ton 5 as Rhino starting to stretch the lead a little bit now. He's up 4-1.
Those rooting for Team Rhino right now are feeling pretty good. Now 4-1 up.
You know, of all the times of my battery to go out of my mouth, this would not be the time.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? It wouldn't be a to the point streaming show without a little bit of chaos on the live stream. That's how it works.
That's fair. All right, Joe opening up with a nice full mark on 20. He's putting 20 points on the board.
Yeah, that's a big, I think, third dart there from him, too, to say the least. So
the Lafayette Triple 19 Club comes back into effect. Uh-oh.
Finds 2.
Rhino, he does that again. He's out of the club. But Rhino doing a nice job of closing the 19s. Larry saying, let's go, Rhino. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.
That's a good second dart there. He's going to switch back up probably to the top and finds
Yes, look at that.
big triple there from Joe Hewitt.
Now, that's where Joe was when he left the game about a year ago. All right, he was consistently at that level where he would shoot a 4 or 4.5 pretty much every cricket game. Stepping away from obviously throws off your mechanics, throws off your timing.
Oh, man, and look at this from Rhino. Trip four on the first 2 darts, but finds a great savior dart on that third dart there.
Well, and if you remember the last cricket leg we played, Rhino could not miss the trip 18s.
Yeah.
So it's
very shocking to
switching
see.
back
And, oh, my goodness, something has switched on. And Joe Hewitt's head, look at this. There's 6.
There's another 7 mark. Joe coming alive. I told you, as the night goes on, he's just going to get better and better. It's fun to watch. All right, Rhino. Now's the time to turn it on, young man. Can he hit the 18s?
Ooh, just one hole out.
He's right there. Don't change it. There
That's
you go.
a good second dart.
Right at that dart.
And
there
that's
you go.
a great
Big 6 mark there from Ryan Watson.
And that's how you know your game is in the right places. When you take your second dart after finding what you've been trying to throw at and placing that third dart right next to that second dart.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at this from Joe.
Oh,
Joe
my
just
goodness.
having the leg of his life, man. That's
I'm going to start calling him the light switch with the way he's hitting these triples around the board. My goodness.
The light switch?
Yeah, the light switch. He be switching, man. He be shutting down the lights.
Yeah, you're not going to make TikTok real with that bad boy.
Yeah, no, don't worry about that. Don't you worry.
All right. Rhino, can he do to Joe what Joe did to him last time? He's going up bulls.
Yeah,
There's 2.
He's in a predicament right now. He's forced to go bulls and only bulls, but
that's
finds
4.
4 of them.
That's 4. That's almost what Joe did to him last time.
And just like that, he's only down by a point, but Joe still has match-winning darts here. He just needs 3 bullseyes. There's 1. Ooh, flights out. Needs a double.
Well, does he point right here? No, he
Oh,
stays
he
on the
stays
bull.
on it.
Stayed on the bull.
I don't hate staying there if you felt like it was a decent lie. You do have a couple of wedges up, but all Ryan needs to do here, if he could find an excellent 9 mark here.
Well, he doesn't have winning darts, but he
does
needs,
not.
He needs to get that point lead. He just did that. Did he stay there? Is he still going to stay there? Yes, he is. Oh, and that quarter flight.
Man,
that quarter flight on the way in and flew off to the left. That was going right at the double bull.
All right.
Joe knows he's down by points here. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to go back up to the 20s.
Yeah, he needs 2 marks at least, and he's forced to stay on the 20s for dart number 3, but finds a big triple.
That's a huge dart.
That's going to be huge. Forces Ryan to find at least 3 bulls to get the point lead back now.
And you can't win if you have less points.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my chat's doing weird stuff too. Let's see what Rhino can do right here. Ooh. I think we missed the first dart. No, we still got 3.
There's 2.
No, we can't quite find any, and you can see in the close-up right there.
One hole out, man, on all 3 of those. And Joe now comfortably could step up here, has 3 darts, needs 2 bullseyes. Yeah. There's 1. And there is for leg number 6. Joe Hewitt on the fight back now, is only down 4 legs to 2 now. All right.
All right, Ryan is going to kick us off here.
Leg number 7 now.
Off goes the hat.
Either has kicked into serious mode or it's getting really hot out there.
It might be getting a little bit warm out there. I haven't set up the AC out there yet, but it was about 66 degrees when I started working out there this afternoon, getting some stuff ready. Rhino with a really nice end right there. Ton 4 get in. And Joe's found the double after that last leg of cricket. He's feeling that confidence right now. Until I said the commentator's curse. And he hit a single 1 and a 555. But he's in. That's what matters. All right, Rhino's got a solid 50-point lead right now, 52-point lead. Let's see him build on it.
In due course and time.
Stay right there, young man. Surprised He didn't start out of the 19s. He had such good luck with them.
You know, to be honest, I feel like he's felt like he's kicked out of the Lafayette 19 club now.
Yeah.
And so now he's going to those 20s. But, you know, only due course will tell.
Ooh, well,
we've had a couple of weird rounds from these players at the moment. Not finding any really triples.
On the last 2 visits, Joe picked up 2 points. He is now 2 points closer.
Yep.
Yeah, Rhino, as we predicted, right back to the 19s.
Yeah, what a beautiful 2 darts. Unfortunately, on just the opposite side of where he's needing to place them.
No, that's a great dart right there.
That's a big switch there.
Yeah, and that's hard to do. You switch them from low to high, but you stay right in the middle. That right there, you're seeing the very best part of Joe. Always got a good smile on his face. There you go.
That's a big third.
Yeah, it's a huge third. 95 points scored. Brings that deficit down a little bit more. He's creeping closer. Rhino going to need a trip right here. He's missed the trip. He's missed the trip 19 a couple of times, but he hit the trip 20 last visit. And just right now, this
all around the wire, man. All around it.
This is where Joe can come in a little bit.
I feel like this leg and possibly the next are going to be a real good indicator to see how loosened up at this point Joe is going to be feeling in his game.
Yeah, he switched
down. That's
down
a big switch there on the third.
That's a pretty switch. A big 132. Takes a 54-point lead on Rhino.
Both are still not on and out, so Ryan could still get there first. Just needs to find 2 big triples here.
There you go.
And he's trying to G himself up. He's shaking.
Let's give him a little dance.
That's a big first. Can he follow it? He can, yes. Are we going to see a max?
Oh,
of course
there it
we
is.
are.
Big 180.
Big 180. Round of 9. Gets him down to a beautiful 2-dart out at 64. Joe has to put on the absolute maximum pressure here in order to shake his opponent. Let's see if he could do it.
Jason Shesky watching along in the chat. How you doing, Jay? Good to see you here. Hope all is well. Hope the puppy is doing well.
Seeing like 5 notifications from Emily and Tim joining in.
Yeah. I'm getting the same thing from you. So.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's different for everybody. All right, Rhino looking at 64 here. That's a good start.
Wow, what a
double-double.
Oh,
Rhino
my goodness, you showboat.
with a double miss double. Not bad at all.
Yes, honey. I'm down.
All right. There we go. So Rhino's holding a 5-2 lead right now, but Joe's going to kick us off this leg, and I'm going to mind my business and adjust the camera back to where it should be.
All right.
Joe still back to struggling to get in. He was able to get in.
He's stubborn, man. He's staying on tops the entire time.
Well, last leg he got in on that first start, right? Yeah. And that made all the difference in the world for him. Rhino's solid on that double 14. Let's see if he stays that way. He went down to 16s, and he's gone inside twice. Why did he move from the double 14s? He can hit that late in his sleep. Yeah, he's probably asking himself a very similar question right now.
Joe breathing a sigh of relief that Ryan only got in with 28 points there
on his last start, so it gives Joe a little bit of reprieve, but you got to get in, Joe.
Yeah,
you got to get in.
Not going to get in,
not
man.
just yet. Now, it's going to be interesting to see if Rhino goes top or bottom. He's looking up. Yeah.
Now he's going to switch.
I don't know what he did there.
He dragged it lower.
Yeah, dragged it even lower. He's probably in 2 minds whether he should switch or not, and that's what made it go low. But all right, Joe. Rhino's not going to run away with it just yet, but he will if you don't get in.
That's a beautiful double 18.
He did switch away from that tops.
Ooh, he was staying on the 18 wedge, too. I love to see that. Going to try to maybe even Shane Hyatt.
Yep. All right, so both players are in, and we are off and running.
Yeah.
And Rhino's had success on the 20s and success on the 19s, but he hasn't had success on both at the same time. He's looking at the 20s, staying up there. Smart move. Solid ton right there. Needed that, quite frankly, 6 darts ago, but let's see what Joe can put up right here. He needs at least a ton. He's got to stay within touching distance. He's looking at that trip 20. Now it's a little bit blocked. Does he switch? No, he stayed right there.
Only finds 60 there.
Yeah, did hit the flight on the way in.
And this is a leg that Joe threw first in, too, on top of all this. So Ryan's got a nice triple plus 3 darts lead against Joe right now.
Yep, well.
And he's not taking too much advantage of it at the current moment.
313. Should have got 19s to open up there, but that's all right.
And unfortunately only finds 28 points there. This could be the break that Joe needs in order to get right back into this match. Needs 2 triples, though, to absolutely capitalize, and that is not the triple that you're looking for.
Yep.
There's a great second dart. Can he follow it?
Yes,
of course
he can.
Of course he can.
All 3 of those darts are good darts, but only 2 of them are really good darts.
Russell's back the lead, but only by about 20 points here, give or take. Let's see what Ryan can do here to put a stop to that.
Yeah, Ryan with a good opportunity to break Joe's throw here. Ooh, that was a pretty second dart, but an ugly third one as it flew right across. That's all in his follow-through. Kind of led the dart that way. He went exactly where he threw it. You see Joe's biggest struggle right now is not really direction. He's throwing right from the eye. His follow-through is straight. His biggest problem right now is arm speed, which gives you height, right?
Yeah.
And his elbow's a little bit low, so he's throwing with a little bit more of an arc.
And you can tell with his demeanor, he is just absolutely disappointed with those 3 darts there. That look on his face could just tell you the whole story.
Well, yep, that'll come back with time, though. It will. Ryan, so all comes down to follow through. If you see right here, Ryan kind of moves his shoulder over when he pulls it back. And like you saw on that last one right there.
He flea flicked it a little bit.
He kind of flea flicks it, and then his hand goes a little bit to his left, my right.
Joe here needs a triple to get to an out.
There you
finds
go.
it. That's a big third.
Yeah, and that was a very well thrown dart right there. Thrown right between those 2 darts.
All right, what's the soft tip route on 128 master out? Is it still 18 trip 20 bull here?
Yeah, but we're not doing bulls in this round, so he's going to be looking at the trip 20, I believe.
Okay. Trip 20 to leave double 4.
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of people go 18s because it does set you up with a bull in the end if you miss. Technically, the 18s is the right first dart to throw, but
that's a real flat dart there from Ryan. I think he realizes that's posing as a blocker for him right now. He's probably going to switch to the 18.
No.
Oh, he stays on it. He's trying it.
Yeah, and he kind of picked on himself, but I'll tell you what, trip 19 would be a beautiful thing right here.
Yeah, trip 19's the dart here. He goes trip 15. It's fine if you hit it.
Yep.
It's fine if you hit it, which
nothing wrong with that. You leave yourself with 60, you leave yourself with 48. Either one will work just fine. Joe's going to be looking at 147. He's looking up at the top. He's trying to work his way down to the 19. He does hit the 19, but it doesn't matter because he missed the 20.
Now he's on 70. Takes a dart at the bullseye. Goes down to 45.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it at all. Both these guys on 2 dart combinations right now. Pretty simple for Rhino.
Yeah, should get 2 darts at tops here. Just needs to throw a decent low flat dart at this single 20 here. And that's a good dart for Rhino. Let's see if he can find it. Flicks it into the 1, and we've seen that a couple of times from Rhino tonight, man.
Well, he caught the dart on the way in. He caught the flight a little bit. I think that kind of hurt him more than helped him.
Yeah, I don't. It's unfortunate there.
Looking at a 7 here, probably. Yep, hits a 7, leaves himself with a double 16 out. All right, Joe looking at a different combination. The way Joe goes, I'm going to go with 5 tops.
5 tops or 13 for double 16. He goes the 13. All right, double 16. Come on, 2 darts. He bent the wire with the second and finds it on the third.
Joe Hewitt, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe, please start on the 16s. Just start on double 16.
Well, I think
double 20 is not treating you well right now,
man.
We're
going to cricket next? No, it's another 0-1, I believe.
No, it is cricket time. Come on,
let's go
baby.
to cricket next. Let's see what happens with cricket, shall we?
Let's get out of those double cam, baby.
Oh, my bad.
Beautiful camera work there from
Yeah,
Papa Ives here. And Rhino here is going to kick us off into the 20 segment. And, oh, no, he leaves that 20 wedge open there. That's not something we typically have seen from Rhino tonight. Let's see if Joe can punish him for it.
All right, folks, I am trying to get my chat to start working.
And unfortunately, Joe cannot punish him. They both score a 2 mark on the 20s. Not the typical darts we've been seeing from these players tonight here.
Let me catch up on some shout-outs here. Big shout-out to Dustin Davis. Shout-out to Miss Morris Marty. Miss Marty Morris, excuse
Marty
me.
Morris?
Yeah.
I like Morris Marty.
Yeah. Dustin and Ron, shout-out to you guys. Ron, have a good night tonight. Appreciate you both. We are live from the sidelines.
We're at the sidelines.
Live at the sidelines.
Oh, sure. Yes. Love to see it.
There we go. Nice big last there from Rhino.
Yep, sure. Many of the Southside players will probably be at the sidelines draw that's happening tonight. Maybe watching this in the background.
On the
possibly.
big screen?
Yeah, on the big screen out there.
Joe finding that trip 7. He's going to be frustrated. It does give him a little bit of a backboard if he wants to go at it again.
And unfortunately drags it into the single.
All right, Rhino needs to finish off the 19s right here. Does he run? If he closes the 19s on the first start because he's part of the 19 club?
I think he stays if he hits the trip.
He does that. He keeps his membership, and he runs. He sure
okay,
does
he flicks
run.
over to the 17. Yeah. I don't hate it.
Well, it's just, he's already got a 60-point lead. He just needs some wedges now. Right?
Yeah.
And it's not like Joe is threatening on anything. It forces Joe to go back up to the 18.
18 or 17. He's going to probably take the 18. He goes down to the 17, though, and he's going to find 6 of them. Can he get 9?
Oh, not
just
bad
on the
at all.
opposite side of the line that he was needed to be on.
Big shout out to one of my favorites, Mr. Brian Drew in the chat. How you doing, sir? All is good with us. Hope all is good with you.
Yes.
And more importantly, your wife. Big shout out to Josh, Steve, Justin, Tom, and Alexa all watching along with us.
Hi, friends. How we doing?
Alexa is one of the waitresses over at Sidelines. It's important. If you ever go to Sidelines, you got to get pork bellies. Pork belly's the best thing to have.
Pork belly or I've had good success with their
Joe
burgers.
Coming alive with the 18s. Coming alive with the 18s. He closes that point gap. He's still suffering a little bit of wedges here. And it gives Ryan the opportunity to go ahead and put some points on the boards, be it 19s, be it 20s.
Yeah, he's going to stay until he hits a triple on the 20 or the 19. Surely. Oh, he tried the switch.
Got his pot committed now. Oh, and that hurt.
That
could hurt.
Yeah.
It hurts depending on what Joe does right here. Joe needs a 20 himself, and he needs a trip 18.
He's got to have a really good visit here. He needs a single, double, triple.
With 3 darts, he needs a 20 and a trip 18. Can't start out with a 1. There's that trip 18. Does he go to the 20?
I would.
Yes, he does. So he manages to pull it out. We said what he needed beforehand. He listened to us, and he went ahead and hit the 1 first.
Yeah.
Can't blame him for that.
Unfortunately, though,
mission accomplished.
Ryan here is going to stay. He's going to stay. He's going to switch.
Oh.
Yes. Of course he switches.
Well, and of course he hit a nice solid 7 mark led by the trip 19s.
Yep. Now Joe's going to be forced to pivot to the 16s or 15s, depending on which he's feeling. He's going 16s. And that's only a 2 mark there.
Yeah, he really needed a trip right there. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what Rhino does right here. He's holding a 95-point lead. He's got the 19 wedge, but Joe's already got 2 marks on him on a 16 wedge.
You're almost up. You're up by like 95 points. I think I would attack the 16 here.
I
would too.
I would too.
Shut down that field, and that's what Ryan's going to do here. Oh.
Yeah. Now you might consider going back over to the 19s because you want to get over a 100-point lead, really.
He tried it. He tried the move, and just unfortunately flicked to the trip 7 as opposed to the trip 16 there.
That's tough.
So Joe's got a little bit of reprieve here. Sorry, can't speak apparently tonight. And that's a big first there from Joe.
Stay right there, young fella.
You're pot committed, surely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 8. That's not bad.
Yep.
Close that gap. 31-point lead for Rhino right here. Closing that 16s and getting some points would be task number 1 and 2. Now, which ordering he does those tasks, let's see. But he needs 2 19s. Oh, excuse me. He needs 2 16s and a few 19s just to cushion that lead a little bit. Goes for the 19s first. Does pick up 1. Does he? And he's thought about going to the double 16, I think.
Yeah.
He's thought about it.
He's resetting. He's going to go for it, I think.
Yeah,
he tried it.
One. Yep. Can't blame him. You know, if you don't take the shot, you ain't going to hit it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's for sure.
Right.
Now, Joe's behind 50 points here. He needs at least 4 16s in order to get the fight back going. And now he's pot committed. He has to stay at the 16.
There's 1. Oh, that's 3.
He needs 6. 4 will do, though.
Yeah.
4 just gets to the point lead back.
Yep.
But you got to think, as Ryan here, you only need 1 16. If I was Ryan, I personally would attack the 16 first.
Yeah, you almost want to go to the 16s first, don't you? You're tempted to. You shouldn't. Discipline should tell you to go to the 19s, not at the 3s, I'll tell you that. He's frustrated with himself on that first start. It's over with now.
He bails himself out if that was a triple, but it wasn't. But he'll take the 2 mark. He just rustles the point lead back. Only up by 5 points, though.
Well, his first start, that throw, and his last start, the previous throw, are the 2 darts that got him frustrated. Joe going over to the 15s here. Needs a trip. There it is. Takes the point lead. Holds it by 10. Does he go to the double 19?
Oh, my God.
No, he
tried
goes to triple and hit the hero shot.
He tried it, and he hits it.
That is huge. What a turnaround we have going here, ladies and gentlemen.
Means Ryan needs 4 bowls in order to steal the point lead back now.
Joe, who was behind in points, behind in wedges, just fighting to stay alive, stayed right with it.
Tooth and nail, this battle has been.
We've seen this with all the cricket games tonight. The guy that's behind 3/4 of the way through always comes back right at the end.
I don't know if I like the first start of the trip 15 there from Ryan.
Well,
what are your thoughts?
Well, what else are you going to do? You know, you can shoot bulls, right? Because you need points, right?
You need points.
But, I hate the second dart at it, even though mission accomplished. I hate it because that first dart kind of blocked out the triple.
Yeah.
You know, there was no daylight. So
Joe needs 3 bulls. He's got 1. Flicks it outside on dart 2. Can he find a double? Of course he can. Look at that from Joe.
Look at that. As soon as I was fixing to get ready and comfy for a bull battle, Joe just goes ahead and hits the double and finishes it out.
And that was a big leg for Joe to win, too. Now it's only a 1-leg deficit. Here we are in leg number 10, and it's on Joe's throw.
Joe's got the darts.
That was a big break, too, to top things off. Now it's just back on throw at this point. And I love that. I love that from Joe. Finally realizing that tops is not being his friend tonight and attack that double 16 and gets it in on first start.
And every time he's made that switch, it's worked for him, and he's opening up with 92 points.
Absolutely.
You know, he's opening up with a 30-point average per dart. You can't, don't ever shoot at that double 20 again until you can hit it consistently.
Chat, we are live in beautiful Canby, Indiana now on a nice little Friday night here, playing some darts at the castle. For all of you that are tuning in, be sure to give us a like, give us a favorite. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that follow button if you're on Facebook. And if you're ever so kind, send us some stars. We'd greatly appreciate it. It goes back to the show.
Got to shout out one of my faves. Actually, a couple of my faves, if I'm honest about it. Dave Collette, how are you doing, sir? And Tyler Gunn in the chat. It's great to see you all here. Gary Fippin in the chat. I haven't seen or heard from you in a little bit, Gary. Hope all is well, sir. Robert and Carmen, thanks for joining us tonight. It is a pleasure to have you. We do this most every Friday night, and we're going to start doing it on a Tuesday night here as well.
The siege is coming back, kids. It's coming back. It's going to come back strong, right?
Yeah, it's going to come back strong. We got some new features, new cameras, new angles, new matches, new themes.
New miniseries. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Shout out to my buddy Kyrie. I had lunch with him yesterday, talking about some of the wonderful things that he's doing in darts recently.
Yeah, don't give your personal phone number out to him, though.
No, he don't like that. And Kyrie's having a blind draw for his birthday last week. Happy belated birthday to Kyrie. Shout out to Steve Durham, Stephen Campbell, Bobby Floyd, Christy. Thanks for tuning in with us and watching along, folks. It's a pleasure to have you along with us tonight. My name is Jason. I'm joined by Keegan. And we are watching Mr. Ryan Watson versus Joe Hewitt. That is Ryan right there. That's
a big ton. Big ton there.
Big
but
ton.
Joe, first time in a while he's been up by 100 points in a leg.
Hey, Modfraud Darts in the chat. What's up, all? It's great to have you. Appreciate you being here. Modfraud Darts, ladies and gentlemen, does streaming also. Modfraud, if you don't mind putting in the chat what nights you stream, give these people a link so they can watch. He does a fantastic show as well. Rhino back there close to his fan, getting some air on him.
Cool down from all this heat that's been thrown in this last couple of throws.
It's probably a little bit warm in the arena right now. It tends to get warmer at this time of night. As the sun comes down, beats on the roof.
And Joe's got some time here.
Yeah, he does. He's on and out.
Yep.
Looking at 118. Let's see what he starts. On trip one is not ideal.
Yep, but he's got time, though. He's got time.
He's got a little bit of time.
Just needs to set it up here. Okay. Gets himself down to 80.
Shout out to my buddy Skip. I'm betting he's watching from sidelines.
Yeah. Skip's been popping out on the Tuesday draws over there at sidelines, too.
Oh, yeah?
Always good to plug that. If you guys are in the greater Indianapolis area, towards the Avon side of things, sidelines on Tuesday nights hosts a weekly steel tip blind draw there, hosted by Sean, the substitute chalker Rosner.
Roscoe.
Roscoe. And he puts on a great draw. He was very kind.
Look at that. That's a nice round from Rhino there. Puts him on an out, too. Puts a little bit of pressure on Joe, who's looking at 80.
Now, do you go the 16s here, or do you go 20 tops, right? He's going tops. How about this?
Double.
Can't get in on it for the save of his life, but can surely finish on it. My, tops. Luke Littler would be proud of you, Joe.
I will tell you now, we're back to me and tied 5-5. That's most important. But the 16 route, 16 is kind of it's a newer thing. Mostly it's been tops for the first 35 years I've been playing darts, and this trip 16, double 16 route has really come into effect here in the last 4 or 5 years. You see it become more and more popular.
You think that's inverse, right? You think it'd be the 16s, and then it would be tops over time. But
when it comes to 01, some of those old guys are so drilled on the double 20 that we just kind of stay that way no matter what, right? Joe in again on his first start with that double 16. Joe's
look at this
to come
possible
alive.
Perfect visit here from Joe. Unfortunate third, though.
Well, we called it earlier on. We said Joe's just going to get better as the night goes on, and that's why it was so crucial in games 3 and 4 for Ryan to build that lead a little bit, right? We're sitting 5-5 now. We're going to play a best of 5. Folks, stay right with us. In fact, share it out to your friends because this game's about to get really interesting. We're going to have 5 legs of Challenger darts. Well, let's see what happens. Joe Hewitt steps up, coming back from a year hiatus from darts. He's starting to come alive. It only took him 10 legs to get there.
Yeah, he was at one point, I think, 4-1 down.
Yeah,
and he's fought back in the last 4 legs, and now it's 5-5. You got to feel the momentum shift, and look at that. He's got a point lead now up against Ryan. Ryan threw first in this leg, mind you, but the big opener there from Joe on that 92 visit definitely did him some favors. And for those who are paying attention in the chat, Mogfrog Darts, he streams Tuesday night, 6 p.m. EST on the 13-inch grand board, and Saturday at 7 p.m. EST, steel tip on Dart Connect, as well as Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time playing cricket.
Golly, you play that many darts. You should be good at it by now. I'll tell you. I hope you're using that darts you're using. What darts you're throwing with that, Modfraud? Joe, gotten cold a little bit here.
I'm telling you, man.
30 points scored right there. This is the door being opened a little bit for Ryan because a ton will put you in a lead here, and it'll set you up in a really nice position to get to be the first to the big out. Let's see what he does. He's firing himself up, put his favorite tune on his little headset.
Yeah, the problem Ryan's running into though is that he threw first in this leg, so he's going to need to score at least 60 more points at bare minimum than what Joe's going to be throwing this upcoming round in order to really get a fight back kind of going. And he does get 83, so that's a big turn there from him. But Joe effectively has stolen the darts at this point. He just needs to not have any more slack visits this game.
Let me shout out Ryan. He does a lot for the Lafayette community too. Runs the blind draw for the Navy Club. Runs it over at Big League as well. Am I right on that? Yep. Runs it over at Big League. A couple of the dart bars and dart areas up there in the Lafayette area. Ryan does a lot for darts. Big commitment to darts. And anytime one person in the family commits to darts, the whole family does. So big shout out to his beautiful wife, Miss Georgette, for doing the same thing too.
Tyler, yes, I do have the Pokemon trading card game online on my phone. I do not have Pokemon Pocket, but I do have the trading card game online.
Stay tuned for the Pokemon update coming to you at Leg 13.
Absolutely.
Yes, brought to you by
Charizard EX. And Joe's on 160. He's got 2 darts left. 159. That's a big old bogey.
Disappointed with that one.
But flicks it down to the 19. Makes it even Steven at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So.
He'll like a 140 out.
Yep. I think all of us fancy a 140 out, especially if you like Trip 20 for sure.
Everybody likes a nice 140 out. Now, Ryan here, even a ton plus, really puts him in a good position. Chances of Joe hitting a ton 40 out, 50-50 at best. Yeah. Ryan can hit a trip right here. Not the Trip 1, no.
Yeah, not the Trip 1, and he knows that's a big disappointment, unfortunately. And
not even on an out. Now, that's just going to increase Joe's odds of hitting this big ton 40. Let's see what he can do.
And this is super big for Joe right now. This could be for the first time in the match he has led.
Yeah, it's the first one.
Finds dart number 1.
Is he going to double-double?
Oh,
yeah,
he tried it.
Yeah, he went double.
He tried it.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you love to see it.
I guess your opponent not being on and out, you kind of would have expected, I guess. But
Ryan's just beating himself up. He knows.
Well, and here's the thing. Ryan had this whole match when he was 4-1 up, right?
Yep.
And he needed to put some points on the board.
But he's allowed Joe back into this match.
It's a good metaphor for a lot of these cricket matches we've had tonight where, one guy has let the other guy back in every cricket leg we've had.
I think you go bull here this last start. Oh, he stayed at it. I don't hate staying there.
I don't hate
confident.
it. I hate it if you didn't hit the Trip 20, your bull would have been a much better position for you. But he hit it. He did it. He made the right choice because it worked.
He's got 3 darts at tops. He's been his friend when it comes to closing.
Yeah, we've seen some
trouble. He drops it to double 10, though. Come on. And there it is. Joe Hewitt for the lead. This is the first time in this match.
Uh-oh.
Now he's up 6-5.
And look how happy you are. Look at you. Yeah, just because I picked Ryan.
All I know is whoever picked this match 8-7 deserves a raise. That's all I'm saying. And guys, guess what time it is? It's cricket time with Joe to throw first here. Let's see what we can do.
Fabulous cricket matches tonight. Oh, and once again, he leaves him open. We've seen that the last 2 cricket legs with the first guy throwing is not even able to close the 20s, and that's unusual at this level.
Tyler, send me a private message. I'll add you later if you really want me to add you.
Oh, gosh. Is that back to Pokemon chat?
It is. It always is about the Pokemon chat and darts.
Ryan needs a trip right here. Put some points on the board, or at least close them.
Nifty
there
fact.
You go. He closed them.
Did you know the world of Pokemon and darts is actually combined? There's a PDC player named Ricardo Pikachu Petretsko, who is currently a PDC tour card holder.
I knew that someone had a nickname of Pikachu.
Yep.
I did know that.
Yep. He is the German number 3 right now. It's him, and I believe it's still Gabriel Clemens, and then it's Martin Schindler's the number 1 German player right now.
Oh, look at you. When's the World Cup coming up? World Cup's coming up pretty
soon. World Cup comes up in June. I'm incredibly excited.
Yeah, well, Team England's going to capture this show. They got Luke.
You got Luke squared, man. Yeah. My God.
You got the Lukes.
You got, if there was a time where England was a seed at number 1,
Yeah.
It's definitely now.
Mm-hmm. Well, we need to win something.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, looking over at the 18s. Needs to put some points on the board. Does that with a vengeance.
Wow, look at this from Joe Hewitt. Just flicks it there down low on the.
And that's, he kind of lulled, but he's storming right back. Holds a 6-5 lead over Ryan right now. Ryan leads that trip 19. Keeps his badge in the club. There it is.
Doesn't have to relinquish the membership yet.
All right, Joe finds himself 60 points behind. He's got 18 wedge, but he's going to need 4.
He needs 18s.
And there's 3 of them.
There's 6 of them.
Yeah, there's a point lead. Does he go 19s?
I would.
He stayed. He stayed up there for
I
the
don't
7.
hate it. I don't hate it. It gives you that triple.
You
that
wouldn't have
gap of the
hated
triple.
it either way. Let's face it.
I mean, you got to feel the confidence in the room. That's the kind of, you really could tell what a player's feeling based off what their third dart ultimately is at the end of the day.
There it is. I'm telling you, there's something about that air in the water, the air that you breathe.
I need to start drinking Lafayette water,
and you can hit 19s.
Yeah.
Just that part of that country, of the state. If you live in that area, you're able to hit 19s.
And I think Joe just even made a comment to him, smiling, saying, "What is in that Lafayette water, man?"
All right, Joe trying to prove a point with the 18s. Unfortunately, not able to do it, only picking up 1. That gives Ryan an opportunity. And
he's G'd up. He knows this could be his fight back chance right now.
Well, he's shooting a 6, but he needs 3 18s. That's all he needs, 3 18s. Don't worry about the rest. There's 1 of them. There's 3 of them. There's 4 of them, actually, but you only need 3.
And switches
don't
to
worry
15.
about that last start.
That's
the
fine.
close in the 18s was crucial right there. So he's got a couple of wedges on him. Joe's going to have to look over at the 16s. He struggled a little bit on 16s a couple of legs ago.
Yeah.
Let's see how he does now.
I like that from Joe. He stepped back just for a quick second to reset.
Yep.
He knows the importance that these 16s and 15s are going to have to take him to the promised land and trying to get back into this point lead.
Those are blocker darts. He's got to go around the outside. He's able to do that.
That's a good third there from Joe. But Ryan.
And this is, his back on Ryan. Puts pressure on him again. He's got to close the 16s.
He's up by a triple, though, so you feel like he's going to attack it at least. And he's going 15s first, which I'm not for sure how I felt about that. But he gets the trip 16 on dart number 2 anyway. And just finds a single 15 on dart number 3.
And that Ryan has picked up that last dart hitch where you just kind of swing your arm through and that dart will go wherever it wants to go. But you see Joe's follow through right here. You'll see it just follow straight through.
And he just flights out there on dart number 3, only gets 2 15s.
Now watch Ryan's follow through right here. Let's see if we can adjust the camera up to catch it. And you see that follow through, Josh kind of comes on the inside there. Although he's throwing perfect darts right now, so just keep doing it. But that follow through becomes inconsistent over time. So darts 2 and 3 can be different than darts 1. That's why you always recommend just having a straight through follow through. Like Joe, you see from Joe right
look
there.
At this. That was plump right there in the double bull first start.
Straight through follow through. Easily thrown, nice and flowing.
Hey, he needed that 15 eventually, so he'll take it for sure.
Now, I feel good about Ryan winning this leg, but let's watch closely on his follow through here. That's a straight follow through. That's right on target, but a height problem.
And there it is.
There it is right
2.
there. Dart number 2 with the big double bull winner.
Doesn't matter what kind of problem it was having, it won him the match. So.
Yeah, that's as long as it works.
That's the beauty in darts too. You can have sometimes a broken throw, or you may not be able to follow through fully and turn, but with the amount of practice you have with your throw, ultimately, you kind of make it your own. And if you score big with your own throw, it doesn't matter if you fall straight necessarily sometimes or not. At the end of the day, it's just all critique, right?
Yeah, well, it's mechanics. So what you want is consistency. And, my mindset's a little bit this way. I've had 2 coaching clinics in the last 2 weeks. But that follow-through is so crucial. And to have a good follow-through where it's straight out and consistently the same every time. Because, sure, you'll hit the number and the wedge that you're looking at, even if your follow-through is crooked at times. but you won't do it consistently over a longer period of time.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about those coaching classes, because I saw that you were advertising them a little bit on the page for local indie dart fans that are within the area. I believe a couple of representatives of To The Point Streaming were at On the Rocks.
Yeah, we went down to, it was myself, Sean, and Tim. Trevor and Guy joined us, and we had, I think it was about 30 folks that we put through a little 6-step coaching classes type thing.
Okay.
And the people on the Rocks loved it. We loved interacting with those folks. We're just trying out some different avenues, and we just, in the case of Tim and Trevor and Guy, fantastic darters. In the case of the rest of us, we've just watched a lot of darts over the years, right?
Sure.
So you get to realize that what everybody's striving for is just the consistent throw. All right. So and the consistent throw involves the same mechanics, time in, time out. And if you can see that, like that's a great dart right there from Rhino. His arm's going straight forward. That's a great dart from Rhino. Where his arm goes straight forward, it's when he swings, you'll see on occasion, especially if he's in his head a little bit, if he's frustrated, his mechanics will go wonky where he swings the dart from left to right and he swings through, doesn't follow through straight. That's a challenging dart there from Joe as he takes a little giggle on himself. These guys are tied 6-6. We're going to play a best of 3.
Yep.
Oh, not a great visit. Not a terrible visit, but not a great visit from Joe right there. But it does open a door a little bit. If Ryan can put up a big ton here, he can get right back in this.
Yeah, and this is a big, that was a big turn there from, well, not that specific turn, but this opening lead that Joe's kind of established for himself thus far, because this is a leg in which that he is throwing second in, so he's kind of rustled the darts away here from Rhino, and he needs the break. He needs the break again because it's 6-all. He's got to either take the break either this game or in the penultimate final leg if it does go 7-all at the end of the day. By the way, whoever predicted 7-all, it's or 8-7.
Oh, that's a huge round. Nice visit there from Joe. 121 scored. All right, Rhino needs his own because Joe's 162 is not an out.
Yeah, it is a bogey number, so Ryan's got time here. Yeah,
Ryan just needs a big score. He needs to find that trip 20 or trip 19, whatever he's shooting at. He needs to find the trip with that number.
Rosner saying, "Hey, Keegan Ives, the only Ives I can count on Tuesdays. Don't you worry, Rosner. I'm bringing the old man out this upcoming Tuesday.
Don't worry, Rosner. Pretty soon he'll be back working again."
Yeah. Very true. Very, very true.
Yeah, let me give you a big shout-out to Mr. Rosner. He's worked hard at that blind draw on Tuesday nights. It's a steel-tip blind draw, one of the few we have in Indy. Look at this from Mr. Hewitt. Puts himself on a bogey 99. He's going from bogey to bogey.
Trip 19 was the shot there, and it only finds 80.
All right, Ryan just needs to get to an out. But the blind draw, 7:30, sidelines, order the pork belly. The tournament director is Mr. Sean Rosner. He's the shortest guy in the room. Go find him. He's got 6 little friends with him. And sign up. That's a great draw to go to.
All right, Ryan does not find a big triple there, and that unfortunately is going to give Joe 6 darts at 80 to be able to close out this 13th and, quite frankly, very important leg here for Joe.
It is crucial. Joe's coming back.
Now, what do you do here as Joe? Do you go tops with your opponent not being on the finish again?
He went tops last time. Let's count on it, but let's see what he does.
Matt in the chat, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, Matt, how are you, sir? Hope all is well. Uh-oh, doubles. Top.
Double top. Ooh, flicks it almost into the 1 almost.
That would have been disastrous, quite frankly. Tyler Brummer watching along. Mark Allen watching along. What's going on, guys?
Brian, does he still wear an elf hat? He does not. He is not. But he does sometimes bring out a leprechaun outfit.
Well, they have to play him on board 3 because it's the only one with the ladder in front.
Yeah. He usually plays on board 1 because of the pool table being right there next to him for elevated height.
Okay.
Yeah.
Use one of the stakes.
Yeah. And Ryan, unfortunately, does not get to an out once again. So Joe is going to have 6 darts to take out 20 here. And this is going to be crucial because if Joe doesn't go inside on dart 3, if he goes inside on dart 1 or 2, could have set up a more easier double for him, but does take it out dart number 1.
We played 13 games. We're going to play 15. Joe is up 7-6 right now.
Once again, rustling the lead back. This is now only the second time that Joe has led in the match.
Yep.
Most of this contest, I'd say 75% of it has been all Ryan.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I am rooting for Ryan this leg because I want a LLD, a last leg decider, baby. Joe gets in on the first dart, as usual. The second half of this match anyways.
And that really, it tells a lot when he's getting in dart 1 on that double 16.
Well, we knew it was going to happen. We knew that Joe, as the night went on, was just going to get better and better and better. There you go, Rhino. Now get it out of get it out of your head, son. I love you.
They're both in. They're both in after one turn, which is good.
You're in. You're playing 2 more games. Now let's win them both. Come on, Rhino. Joe finding that trip 7. The last few times he's been shooting at that trip 19, he's found that trip 7 quite often.
Oh, there it is. Good switch up there from Joe. Finds a solid 97 scored there.
All right, Rhino, come on.
Rhino needs a ton 40 at least to tie.
Ton 40 gives him a lead by a point. There's the first dart.
Oh, yeah, by a point, I should say. Yeah.
Trip.
Can you find it?
Oh, that's okay. A ton of work.
Yeah, it keeps him neck and neck with Joe. So, and that's kind of, quite frankly, all you need to really be doing at this point.
Yep. Just keep him right in it. Joe's got the throw. You're going to need to, Joe, every leg, Joe has one where it's a 40 or a 46 or something like that, of that type of nature, right?
Switching up the strategy, going up to the 20s here.
Yeah, there's a 60. All right, now's your chance, okay? You can just hit a ton. You can gain 40 points on him. Let's see what he does. Going up at the 20s. Ooh,
that is not what you want to see. Yep. Flicks into the 5.
Stay here. Stay there. Ooh, okay. Not a great visit there from Ryan. Only 28 points put on the board. Fortunately for Ryan, though, because Joe didn't have a great round last visit, only put 60 points on. He's still within touching distance.
Yeah, another 60 here from Joe, and, could have opened the door, but he finds it on the first dart, and how about this from Joe Hewitt? 180.
Big 180 darts right there. Puts
Our second 180 of the night, one from each player. And now Ryan, even with a maximum of his own, cannot get to an out. That was a huge 180 there from Joe. He's going to have at least 6 darts to take out this 94 and win the match.
Your opponent hits a 180. Hitting a 135 to answer is not terrible at all. That's big darts from Ryan. That's a good comeback. But it just goes when you don't have any pressure on you, what you can do.
Joe going the steel tip route of trip 18 there for tops. Finds the trip 1, though. Goes down to the trip 17 and gets a 2.
This could be good big for Ryan.
And goes bold on the last. Man.
7-point score total right there. That's big for Ryan. It gives him an opportunity to stay in it right here. Ryan really needs to win this just to win this match this week.
I really don't like that third dart there from Joe. He should have went the 19. A single 19 would have left him on a 2-dart. Well, granted the 2-dart combination on 70. Now he's on 87. Needs to find a trip 17 here for double 18 would be my estimate. Maybe trip 19 for double 15.
No, he's going to trip 17.
Goes trip
double
17.
18.
Double 18 for the match.
There it is.
And there it is.
Big
Joe Hewitt wins leg number 14. And, hey, look, guys, I'm just saying, if Rhino manages to win this 15th leg, my prediction's correct. So I'm rooting for a Rhino win here.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can get it done.
We're going to have somebody else next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Just saying, I still got it after not being on the show for about 2 months,
Yeah, you are lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Some say it's luck, others call it skill.
Rhino closed it at the 20s. That's good, solid darts. You're playing up there. You're a little disappointed. You just lost the match, quite frankly. But you still get up there and you hit 3 solid 20s. That's a good sign for Rhino. You can see in the background there, he's a little frustrated with himself.
And Joe's playing this like a free lull, gets a solid 7 mark to open the round.
Now, this Joe, quite frankly, is the same level Joe that left darts here about a year or so ago.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what we can expect out of Joe when at his best. But I will tell you, if you play him in this league, get him early. If you don't get him early, you're going to be in trouble. All right, couple of 20s put in a point for Rhino there. So he keeps up with Joe. Joe still holds a 17-point lead. I think he's looking up. Yeah, he's looking up to hit the 20. Now we may be rethinking a little bit.
Yeah, he's resetting here. I think you go 19s. No, he's staying at the 20. He's determined.
Yeah. And now he may go 19. Let's see what he does.
Well,
Yeah, he's going to go 19s. Yeah, it's just not working. I'm surprised he didn't go to 18s, to be honest with you. But, both these players may be feeling a little fatigued now.
Yeah.
I think when you're playing at the castle, when you're playing on the stream, the pace of which you play is just naturally a little bit faster.
Yeah, you just want to. You don't want to keep your opponents waiting.
Exactly,
and that's
and they, believe it or not, I know you're just walking back and forth 8 feet at a time, but you're standing on your feet for an hour and a half, and it can get a little. I wouldn't say tiring, but it can get your breath a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're not used to playing at that sort of pace. You know, these players typically, will be setting their own kind of pace more so, especially if you're playing in a singles league.
That's a beautiful 6 mark there from Joe Hewitt, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and you said it correctly there. It's the change of pace from what you're normally used to that kind of throws you off a little bit. And you see the fatigue start to come in a little bit later on in matches. Rhino a little frustrated with his third dart there.
Yeah, unfortunately getting the 2-2 there, but Joe, going to step up here, going to probably attack those 17s just to shut that wedge down.
He is, and he does that with the first dart.
There it is. And there's the 16s, and how about the 15s? Ooh, just a little bit of a high dart there from Joe, but definitely still has time. He's pointing it out. He's like, why is this up 2 wedges?
Here's one for you and one for the audience at home. Watch Ryan's follow-through on these darts, right? He's in his mind, he's probably not doing real well in this particular leg. Let's see what his follow-through looks like. And you see he came in a little bit there, even though he hit the dart.
Yeah.
That one was straight. And that one came in a little bit too. That follow-through is so crucial as you let go of that dart. All right, Joe sitting comfy right here. Going to be looking to close the 15s.
Flicks it right into the trip 2. Kites into the one of the 15s.
Yep, that was going right into the trip 15, but he caught the flight. And he picks up 2.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, Rhino right here, we've seen some strange cricket games tonight, right?
Yeah.
We've seen some big bull hitting. We've seen some strange things. And Rhino lights up the 15s right here. We may see another strange one. Let's see what happens.
There's 1. There's 2. Can he find 3?
Yes, he can. There's a 9 mark from Ryan Watson, ladies and gentlemen. And just reminding everybody, he's not quite done yet.
Yeah, exactly. He may be down currently 4 wedges right now, but look, if you're smacking 9 marks on 1 wedge, that's all it takes to get you right back into this thing.
Yeah, he's got a 120-point lead. Joe just closing it down. Is he going to go bulls or is he going to point? No,
he's going to point.
Yeah.
What a time to find the 7 mark there from Joe.
Rhino, just close stuff, Rhino. Start out with the 17 and close it down.
Yeah, flick the 17, probably stay at the 19, and I would go 16s probably on third if you hit the trip 19. But
yeah, he's going bulls.
Oh, he's going bulls. Okay, I don't hate this.
You got to keep going. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you got to build your point lead back up, right?
Well, and Joe's going to have to commit a dart to points, right? Yeah. He needs 6 points, so one of the darts, any one of the open wedges, and there it is. He throws the 19, so he does get that point lead back. Now you're looking at bullseyes.
And a double bull wins it. Ooh, flicks it outside there. All right, Ryan. Now would be a great time to hit 6, but even a couple of bulls here will do you justice. And oh no, there it goes. Just as it was going to fade to black, there's 3.
Oh,
kites out there on the
that's
third.
not bad though.
Yeah,
You got the point.
You'll
Yeah.
take 3 bulls.
Because you got a 21-point lead, so you may be forcing him to commit 2 darts.
Yeah, if
At supporting, right?
Joe does not find a triple here, he's forced to commit 2 darts.
Let's see what he does. You know he's going to go 19s. That's where he's had his luck so far. Oh, he's going to go bulls. He's going to close the bulls. As
There
you would
it is.
say, I
2
don't
bulls.
hate it.
And the triple
There
to
you
win
go.
the match.
Joe Hewitt, ladies and gentlemen, with a classic finish. Closes out the bulls and hits the trip 19 for taking a point lead.
Yep, takes our score line for week 2 of the Challenger Series, 9-6.
People,
in favor
prepare
of
your
himself.
eyes. We've come back to the Ibs.
We've come back to the Ives.
Yes. Close your eyes. Watch out.
And I don't have it because I didn't get the score line right. So
Yeah,
hey,
you know, it's okay.
That's
we
all
forgive
good.
you. Thanks for joining us tonight. We will be back probably next Friday. We are working things out to get things going for the siege here, and we'll probably start that before, at the start of next month. Thanks for joining us tonight from Jason and from
Keegan.
We will see you next week. Have a great night. And if you're going out tonight, please be safe. Okay? Take care now.